Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine and welcome to day 21 of 31 days of Christmas crafting. Now what I'm going to show you today is, I think, a lovely home decor piece and could also be a little secret Santa gift. It would make a lovely table decoration. It would be an ideal craft fair make, and if you're into your upcycling, I think you will love this. You know that I love the little herbs and spices jars that you get from Sainsbury's with these lovely silver metal lids. Marks and Spencer's do a similar one that's shorter, slightly shorter and slightly fatter. And in this one I've got some texture paste that I've mixed with white acrylic paint for something that I did, and it's been in there ages, and with the lid on it's still keeping nice and moist. So these little jars are lovely. Ella stores pins and paper clips in them. I think they're lovely. They make nice little button containers. There's a craft fair idea. Fill them up with vintage buttons in different colours, tie a little bit of ribbon around them. Bob's your uncle. Anyway, what we're going to do is make a little tea light holder, and I've got my little empty jar ready to go. It's really funny. I battled with one getting the label off. The glue was awful, and I struggled even with isopropyl alcohol to get it off. But this, the label came off so easily. But we're going to upcycle this. And I was trawling Pinterest and I saw a lovely free printable from the Graphics Fairy. I'm sure many of you know the Graphics Fairy, but I will leave a link in the description box to this particular printable. And I've gone ahead and printed out a couple of these, and it just says the Christmas tree, and you've got these white stars, and the idea is that you cut these out with a craft knife and go around the edge with a black pen. So I've measured my jar. I'll just put this to one side. I've measured my jar and I've cut a piece that fits. And just to show you that it does fit, and I've got a little bit of overlap. I think I want my treble clef and bass clef showing, but I've done it so that you can see the Christmas tree. And what I'm going to do now is just use my craft knife. I hope it's sharp. Just move this out of the way because I don't want to cut through those. And I'm just going to use my craft knife and cut away these little stars. Ooh. Just like so. And just going slightly outside the white edge. And I'm going to just continue cutting away. I might need to replace my blade. I am not the best with a knife at all. And I've got paper crafting tonight, and I have a feeling that we're going to be using craft knives. Now I've nearly got through, but I need to go over again. Now it's going to be tedious watching me cut these out, so I'm going to put you on fast forward. So as you can see, my knife skills aren't the best, but what we're going to do to just highlight these a little bit more is just draw around each star. I'm just trying to find my 0.5 pen. Here we go. So yeah, I'm not very good at drawing either, but we're just going to highlight these little cut lines that we've done around each star to kind of add to the shabby chicness of this. So there's one. I'd love to be good at paper cutting. My daughter Molly has got a friend that set up a business doing the really fine paper cutting with a knife. I know a lot of people do it with a cutting machine, and I guess if you've got a scan and cut of whatever description, you could potentially do this. I did actually, although my knife skills aren't very good, I did find it quite therapeutic. So I'm just sketching around each star, not forgetting the ones at the bottom. Now the picture that I saw on Pinterest, they used a much bigger jar, but I hadn't got one to hand. Well, I had, but it's got a lot of label glue on it and needs a really good soak. It's been through the dishwasher, but I need to get some more IPA on the label, on the glue, label glue. So can you see what we're doing there? We're just going around highlighting each star. And if you didn't want to print off this free printable for whatever reason, you could use a hole punch on a book page. I've got a couple of examples to show you at the end. So there is that. Now we're going to just embellish a little bit more, but I think we're going to do that when it is on the jar. So I've got a brush here. I don't have to go for a finer brush actually. Yeah, I think because I've got cutouts, I'm going to go for a finer brush. And I've got my Ranger Multi-Medium Matte. And I'm going to bring in my jar. Let's get rid of this piece of paper and we can work on our mat. So I'm not going to apply glue to the jar because we've got holes and I don't want that to kind of show through. So I'm just applying a bit of this glue that does dry clear to part of this. And we're going to start to stick it on our jar, making sure it is straight and the right way up. And just gently work round. Apply a little bit more of this. I have to say I do prefer this to Mod Podge. I've done an example to show you and I used Mod Podge and I didn't like it, so I wish I'd used this instead. Just going very carefully round and trying to get this nice and straight. And because it is wet, you can kind of move it and mold it We're nearly at the end. And I've got a little bit too much of an overlap, so I'm just going to trim down a little bit. Because I didn't want to cover that star up. And there we go. So there is our little jar so far. I'm just going to go and rinse my brush out because I don't want to spoil this. I will be back in one moment. So now we need to embellish a little bit, and the graphics fairy showed various ways of doing it, but I hadn't got those kinds of things to hand, so I'm just using what I've got. And I thought, because this is going to be a tea light holder and we're going to have a tea light in it, and please don't use real tea lights, use the electric ones, or the battery operated ones, particularly in these small ones. I can't get in here. I like to have tea lights and candles in the dark, and I think it will cast a really nice glow, and I just want a bit of extra glimmer and shine. So I'm just using a cocktail stick to apply a little bit of gilding wax, but I'm doing it in kind of like a 3D way. So I've got little smudges of it. I don't want too much. I mean, obviously, before you adhere your paper, you could spray it with a sparkle spray. But I think that's going to be enough. That's all I want. I love the smell of gilding wax. Okay, just pop that to one side. Now, as I say, the example I saw, they did use twine. I need to get some cheap ordinary twine that's thicker than the stuff I've got, and because it was a bigger jar, she did more around the edge, and I think she put the lid on as well, but I don't know where the lid for this has gone. I'm going to use some of this that I have found in my stash recently, which is really lovely. I do like it. And if you've got a hot glue gun, you might want to glue this in place, but I'm going to just tie it round, and I don't even mind if I smudge my gilding wax. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tie a knot at the side here before I've cut my twine. And this has got some kind of wire in it, I think, so it's kind of sturdy and malleable. There's my knot. I've tied it quite tight, and then I'm going to wrap some more around the top of my jar like that, and cut like so, and tie another knot. But obviously, if you want to secure it more, you could use a hot glue gun, but I don't own such a thing, so I'm not using that. Okay, sorry for the rattling. I'm just going to cut, actually let's use my fabric scissors. Cut like so. I'm going to bring in my silk thread if I can find the colour I want, because this is kind of like a goldy colour. And I've got some jingle bells. It's not Christmas without jingle bells, is it? I've had these in my stash a while. Can you see they were £5.50 from Paper&Twine and reduced to £1.50? Yeah. So I'm going to thread, 3 of these onto this, and the colours blend really nicely. But you use whatever you've got. You could put beads on, you could put buttons on, you could hot glue your paper flowers on, you could die cut things. So I'm just going to tie that like that. This is a different way to how I've done the other one. Let's cut, and then we're going to tie this kind of here. Just getting that through that layer of twine. I've tied it really tight, it's a bit difficult. Okay, I think we can get through here. There we go, that's got it. And I'm going to just tie this by my knot. And I think these are really sweet and simple and would look lovely on your Christmas table. They'd look lovely on your mantelpiece, and would make cute little gifts. As I say, absolutely wonderful for craft fair makes. Let's just have these dangling off. I mean, if you wanted to, you could thread beads on these and then tie a knot at the bottom so you've got a bit more, but I just want it quite clean and simple, I think. So let's just move all this out of the way. And there you can see my lovely little tea light holder that also makes a noise. Here is another one. I need to just get some IPA and clean that, but this was a book page, and I die cut the heart out, and I sprayed this with the mica stains, the jack-o'-lantern and flickering candle. Flickering candle I thought was appropriate, and then again I've just tied some bells on. The book page that I used was kind of like 2 columns on one page, so that's why I've got a bit of bare text there, but I really like that. And imagine all, a whole series of these lined up on a mantelpiece would look lovely. And then not quite as successful, but again would be lovely for a craft fair. I've got a bigger jar here. Hold on, I just got a delivery, hold on. So yeah, this I used the Tim Holtz collage paper, and this is where I used my Mod Podge, and I think it would work better on a jar that was round, but I'd got this kind of hexagonally, well, it's not hexagonal, but it's got like the shaped sides. But I do love the collage paper. You could probably do the same thing with a napkin, and that might be a bit more successful because it might be a little bit stronger. But can you see how I've got all the wrinkling? I mean, to me that kind of adds to the effect. And then on this one I've found a grey board embellishment, and I've just embossed it with silver embossing powder on front and back, a couple of layers, some silver bells this time. and a little wooden die cut piece. But again, if you'd got fake foliage, that would look nice round here. But the this cutout paper is designed for bigger jars, I think, really. But yeah, so I would just light a candle in each of these and show you what they look like. So let me know what you think in the description box down below, and I will be back tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye now.